Hi, I'm Laura John. Let me just, we had a bunch of tech issues here at the very last minute, so I'm going to um, go ahead and send out a really fast email to let you know our new streaming link, and then we will get started. So just bear with me for a second. What are you looking for? I don't know. Did you have it? I don't see it here. Okay, let me just pull this up, and then we'll be doing it. We are in the middle of Typhoon Kongray in Taiwan, and it is crazy. It's pretty crazy. Where did you let this thing open? It's not wanting to cooperate. So I'm kind of wondering if we have some internet connectivity issues. Although this one seems to be going, so I don't know. Anyway. Make sure this is all good. As clean as it can be, because I feel like I look really grainy, but I don't know. All right, we are having some sort of internet issues. I don't know what to do, except that we're probably not going to be able to do this. Yeah, this is having trouble with connections. Oh, the chat's reconnected. That's good. Maybe the rest of my computer can connect. It's not wanting to talk to me. It's okay. It's okay. Well, oh, yay. There we go. Let me do a quick email. Okay, perfect. Send the broadcast. Okay. Yay. All right, sent that out. Hopefully someone will show up in a little bit, and then we'll go from there. So I'm also going to give that a couple minutes to come through, and then I'm going to extend my coupon time for the Tame the Crazy course here for a minute. Make sure that goes a little longer to match with the call. Okay. That should be good. Internet's crazy slow right now, it feels like. But post-hurricane, I don't know what you're supposed to do. This is the annoying part because it's like supposed to be working so well on the internet. Joys of internet. Oh, hello, someone's here. Awesome. I am just trying to get something resolved really quick, and then we're having some tech and internet issues here coming in at the end of Typhoon Kongray here in Taiwan, so just bear with me. Let's try this instead. All right, we can give it a couple more minutes, see if somebody else shows up, and then we'll get started. I'm trying to extend a coupon code that I set so that it lines up with everything we're doing. But the internet is not my friend today. So, all right, we're going to just kind of get started. Make this taller. Oh, perfect. Okay. All right, here we go. Let me get my slides together and let's do this. All right, so welcome to the webinar from Chaos to Calm. I'm Laura Jiang, and I'm so glad that you're here. And I'm terribly sorry about all the issues that we're having right now. So I am going to try and keep the chat visible, as well as click through these really quick. All right, so let's get started. Hi, and welcome to this very special online training from Chaos to Calm. So my name is Laura Jiang, and I don't know about you, but I'm so excited for this training today. This is a topic I really genuinely do love talking about, just because I've lived it and I have a passion for helping busy moms find good routines that will support them, get their homes calm and peaceful, that they enjoy being in their house, and to help eliminate a lot of that just overwhelm where people feel like they're drowning or they can't ever catch up or they just need a break because they've been cleaning all day, every day for like a year. And it's also built to be around real life because that is real life. So I hope that this training has an immediate and powerful impact in your life and that it's able to make a difference for you. All right. So, I'm really glad that you're here. I'm glad you showed up. And I know that whenever you're watching an online training like this, it can be really easy to get distracted. So I just want to encourage you to give yourself this time to really soak it all in and just be all here and all present. So silence your cell phone, turn off your alerts, give yourself, the gift of being all present. We rarely do that these days, do we? Get everybody situated, turn on a show, whatever you need to do, tell your husband, please take care of bath time. And then for the next hour or so, just give yourself that gift of focus. So if you haven't already, be sure to download the workbook for this training. And let me just grab that link for you real quick and put it into the chat. Just a second. I think I might need to stop sharing for a second to do that. Let me grab that link for you really quick. It is straight from my Google Drive, and you can make your own copy. And that is the free gift that we have for coming. It's called that's the workbook. There we go. That's the workbook. The free gift is coming later. All right, let's go back to that. All right. So we're back. All right, so be sure to get the workbook. It'll help you kind of follow along if that's something that helps you. If not, don't worry about it. All right, so if you want to share this training with your friends or family, or you want to connect more with me and see what's going on, feel free to go over to Instagram at Tame the Crazy or tag me with Tame the Crazy. It's my YouTube everything handle. If there's something that really stands out, I'd love to know. You can just take a picture and let me share it and say, hey, I was watching from chaos to calm. This is what stood out to me. If you have any questions, stick them in the chat box. And at the end, I'm happy to answer the questions. Of course, that only works for live, not replays. If you do have questions, though, pop over to my Facebook page or Instagram and shoot me a DM. And I'd be happy to answer your questions there if you're watching the replay. All right, so first, just in case you don't know me, let me introduce myself one more time. My name's Laura Jiang, and I am an American living in Taiwan, married to a Taiwanese guy with 2 adorable boys. And in May, we actually just lost our third son. He was full term, but he passed away. And so still a mom of 3 kids, though. And I love to read when I get spare time, which honestly is very hard to come by. Even with my great systems, there's always something else to do. And I am a born again believer, and our family loves to play outside and go on adventures as much as possible. And we don't have to have big adventures. Our kids are little. Little adventures are great, like hopping on the MRT, the subway system, metro system here, and just riding a few stops and coming back home. They think that's a blast. We also homeschool. I don't know if I said that. And so that has been a new adventure this year, starting kindergarten. So with all of that out of the way, let me ask you something. Does this sound like you? You start the day staring at yesterday's chores, but just really wish you could wake up to a clean kitchen? Anybody that sounds like you? Or does this sound like you? You panic every evening when 4 p.m. rolls around. You just absolutely hate hearing the question, "What's for dinner, Mom?" Since you're wondering the same thing yourself. Yeah, absolutely me. Does this sound like you? You've tried all the systems, but they just don't last. Every organizing and cleaning system promises to completely transform your home. But in reality, it's just one more thing added to your already overflowing plate. If any or all of these sound familiar, maybe you have a friend who has this problem, I want you to know you're in exactly the right place. And today's training is going to give you a solution to each of those challenges, as well as several more. But before we dive in, I just want to give you a quick preview of what's ahead so you can know if you really want to stick around. Because your time is valuable. And if this isn't going to help you, feel free to go. No hard feelings. So I'm going to share how to wake up to a clean kitchen every morning and break it down into small, doable steps so that you can see changes starting today. It's really that simple. We're also going to talk about how to streamline your meals and your meal prep. And this will save you time cooking and put your appliances to work so you can cook without being in the kitchen. Hooray for the ability to double up. And we're going to talk about how to take new habits and methods and turn them into lasting routines. That'll help you stick with the new changes and see the impact that they make in your home. And as you add more, the impact grows exponentially. I mean, imagine how different you'll feel when the kitchen is clean before bed. That's pretty awesome, right? But imagine if the dining room was also clean and the table was clear and the living room was cleaned up as well. Can you imagine if you just woke up and walked out to a house that looked like it had been picked up the night before? How would your day feel when you start out? Would you feel, like you have space for the new day? Or would you feel like yesterday is still crowding in and pushing with all of its mess? Do you feel like, wow, I have capacity and space on my mental plate I can handle today? It's a major difference. Makes a big difference. So at the end, I'm going to share some information about my course, Tame Your Crazy Home, and why it might be just the thing that you need right now. And I'll also let you know how you can get a really, really fantastic bonus, the Busy Mom's Guide to Easy Meal Prep, plus a few other things absolutely free. Um, sorry. The Busy Mom's Meal Prep, Easy Meal Preps. If you have it and you haven't used it, or you don't have it yet, I encourage you to check it out. It has a lot of material. It's not supposed to be read all the way through. You just kind of pick the parts that you need, and it helps keep you. Let's see, it helps you set up a flexible meal plan so that you're ahead of the game, even on busy nights when everyone's running in different directions. It shows you how to meal prep in advance so you can cook without being in the kitchen. And it is, sorry, it's a $35 value, but I'm going to be putting it with a special combination tonight for you. Yeah. So I also have a gift for attending here. Let's see. Let me grab that link as well. I thought I was going to be able to have two computers to do this, and the tech issues turned out I don't. So I'm having to switch back and forth the screens. So sorry about that in advance. We definitely had a better system before the lovely typhoon decided things aren't going to work the way that we thought. And that's okay too. All right. Back to the screen I was on. Okay. So here is the link to get the gift for coming today. The top three. There we go. Top 3 cleaning priorities. How to clean your home when life gets crazy. And it could be busyness. It could be postpartum season. It could be having a death in the family. All those things. This is applicable, and this will help. You just simplify and say, okay, I'd love my whole house to be clean, but we can't right now. So what are our top 3 non-negotiables that if these are done, our family is safe, fed, and in a place that will not bring on illness through excess dirt? Okay? This is not the time to clean your guest bedroom. This is straight and simple. Is it the dishes? Is it the bathroom? Is it the floors? Is it the laundry? Pick 3. Obviously, you can do more, but you're in a hard season. That's why you're doing less. So I want to know, why did you show up? What are you looking for here? I'd love if you would tell me in the comments, what are you hoping to find? What are you hoping to change? What are you hoping to find some clarity about? I know for me, when I was in this stage, my biggest question was, how can moms with busy lives make a plan to keep their homes organized and peaceful, even when they have so much to do every day? That was my overwhelm. I'm like, I'm already exhausted. My brain's already fried. How am I supposed to sit down and make a plan? Would the plan help me? Maybe. I don't know. I don't have 2 extra brain cells to rub together. Would it help? Sure, probably. So I want to know, what is your big burning question? This is mine. How can we make this plan? We're already so busy. That is my question as well. After my kids were born, I struggled with keeping my home organized and to stay on top of laundry, cleaning, and dishes. Before my kids were born, there really wasn't much to it. And I was kind of thinking, how hard is this? Well, I have a kid or 2, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, okay, I get it. I felt like I needed more hands or more time in the day. Either one would be fine. Waking up to a sink of dirty dishes every morning and floors that needed to be swept and piles of dirty and clean laundry all over the house was just so discouraging. I was using every minute I could, but I just wasn't getting ahead. And some days I was barely catching up. I felt like I was drowning in an endless to-do list, and I wish I had just a mom coach who'd come and sit at my dining room table and watch me and be like, okay, here's why this is not working. Here is why that is not working. Here is why this does work. And just kind of help me cut through the fog and see what was actually going on and what was actually useful. Oh, yeah. So that was me folding laundry with my 202 little baby there in the foreground in the swing. And then we had so much laundry. I wasn't staying on top of it. And I didn't even know my husband took that picture until later. One night I was cooking dinner and my 4-month-old was in the baby swing. And my almost 2-year-old was toddling around him trying to love on him, and he kept trying to swing him or unbuckle him or show me, "Mom, did you know the swing can go all the way up?" I'm like, "Yes, please don't do that." And I don't know why I didn't think to just go put the swing near the kitchen, but I didn't. I was overwhelmed. My brain isn't functioning very well. Postpartum, and I know I had postpartum depression, and I had a lot of things going on and sleep deprivation, so I wasn't, like, coming up with the smartest ideas. But every time I went back in the kitchen to try and chop a carrot, I distinctly remember picking up the knife, and I couldn't even make one slice on the carrot because I had to race back in the living room and solve something. And that happened 4 times. Kitchen, living room, kitchen, living room, kitchen, living room. And finally, I was like, "I just wanna cut one slice off this carrot. Dinner's never gonna get made." And I even said out loud, I was like, "I wish I could just cook without being in the kitchen." Do you feel that way? This is resonating. Eventually, I decided that something had to change or I was just gonna go crazy. I also knew that I had postpartum depression. I was struggling for a way out of that. And by the way, all those lists online about postpartum depression and all the symptoms lists, they really should include something that's like, if you've read 3 lists and you really think this might be you, it probably is you. Um, Go get help. That would have been good to hear. Anyway, I began to search Pinterest and blogs and anywhere else that I could think of for answers on how to get a handle on my home while holding a newborn who cried all the time for the first 3 months and a toddler constantly attached to my leg. There were surprisingly few answers for this very unique predicament, which is not so unique to me, but I was able to find enough answers to start making some small changes. My mom was also super helpful and encouraging, even though she couldn't be here since we live on the opposite sides of the globe from each other. I started with washing all the dishes in my sink and just the sink, and then I'd go to bed. I had made this commitment to myself. I'm going to learn how to go to bed with a clean kitchen or wake up to a clean kitchen because that was my real goal. I didn't care if I went to bed with a clean kitchen. That was my problem. My goal was to wake up to a clean kitchen. So I had to bridge that disconnect there. So I just said it's too overwhelming. So I'm gonna pick one part. I'm gonna clear out my sink. Yeah, there might still be a pot or two on the stove. There might be a plate on the table. That's not my goal right now. I'm just gonna knock this out. And from there, I started after about a week of doing that, and it was like, oh, this isn't so hard. Plus, if you stay up on your dishes, it's not so hard. Then I said, okay, we're going to do the sink and the counters today. And the next day I said, let's do the sink and the counters and the stove. And I finished earlier than I thought. And I had a little bit more energy. And so I cleared off the table too. And from then on, I just purposed every single night to knock out all of that, the whole kitchen. And that made such a big difference. I was often washing dishes at midnight, but I still kept my promise to myself. And that was when I started to build trust with myself to know that when I make myself a promise, I'm going to do it. Because in the past, I didn't always keep my promises to myself. And that really does ruin your trust in yourself. And that's where you're like, well, I mean, I don't know if I'd really do that. Why? You need to have that trust with yourself. Start keeping your word to yourself. And that's when things start changing. However, I would often sit down after my kids went to bed completely bonkers. And then I would just sit there and stare at the wall or scroll on my phone for like 3 hours. And it'd be 11 p.m. before I got up to do the dishes. So I started setting a timer for 20 minutes on my phone. I was like, I can sit because I thought, well, I should jump right into dishes, but I'm too exhausted. I really do need a little bit of space to kind of decompress from the day. I can't just keep going and going and going. I thought that's fine. So I gave myself 20 minutes. And the first day I did that, I said, I'll set the timer for 20 minutes and then I'm going to get up and go do the dishes. And the timer rang and I hit repeat. And the timer rang and I hit repeat. And then I got up and did the dishes. Now, was that keeping my word to myself? Not as well as I could have, but I only sat for an hour instead of 3. And then I got up and did my dishes, and it wasn't 11 p.m. And then I still had time to chill after that, or go to bed early, or go get a bath, or read a book, or whatever I wanted to do instead of sitting there with like this mountain of the kitchen getting bigger and bigger and bigger in my head. Slowly, I began to get to the point where, I would just get up and do the dishes when the timer rang. And after I kind of learned that new skill, I started to search for the perfect laundry routine. By now, it's been several years. It's been a lot of changes, it's been a lot of sicknesses, a lot of ups and downs, potty training, kids up and down in the night, kids growing up and us getting up and down in the night. I've been through a whole pregnancy and postpartum, and then, of course, the grief of losing the baby. And the methods that I'm talking about, like, they have been through the fire. They've been tried and tested, and they're showing up that they still work. Maybe not the way I want every single day, but they do work. I mean, if I'm in postpartum, I'm not getting up and doing all the dishes, but they'll still get done. Someone else will do them, or I can do them in little spurts. Now I easily go to bed with a clean kitchen and table, all the toys picked up in the living room, and no piles of laundry on the couch. The bathrooms get cleaned regularly, and I mostly cook at home. I'm still super busy with little people. I have a 5.5-year-old and an almost 4-year-old, and there are days when I do not get much sleep the night before. But because I have routines in place that support me and our family, I can do most chores on autopilot, and the house stays under control. And I don't have to spend the weekends catching up. That's very rare if I do that. But it's not about me. These strategies that I've implemented in my home have been tested, especially when we all got sick with COVID. I was in bed for 3 days straight, and I just knew that when I got better, that laundry was going to be a huge mountain all over again. And it kind of was. However, thanks to my new laundry routine that I had been practicing, which I will share later, I was able to get it back under control very quickly. And that was before I was even fully well. But again, this story is not about me. Because although your story might look and sound a little different than mine, a calm and peaceful home that begins to run itself is exactly what I want for you too. And that's exactly what this training is all about. Imagine being able to enjoy your home and just relax in the evenings. Imagine that you wake up to a clean kitchen instead of starting the day staring at yesterday's chores. Imagine relaxing on the couch with your partner instead of with a mouthful more of laundry. Imagine that you have a plan for dinner long before 4 p.m. instead of panicking every evening. Imagine that you've created flexible routines that support you in your current season instead of living in reaction mode with a chore list that is overwhelming. And imagine that you have a highly simplified backup plan for days when life happens instead of just drowning in the chaos. Perhaps you even have your kids helping out with chores. If you had told frazzled, overtired, and overwhelmed me that not just one of these things, but all of them were not only possible, but would become my normal, I don't think I'd have believed you. I would have wanted to. I'd been like, that sounds so amazing, but yeah, there's no way. However, the good news is, if it can happen to me, it can happen to you, and your kids will grow up. The 3-month-old who screams day and night will not do that forever. You just need the right game plan for your home and direction, and the baby, I don't know what to tell you about that one. That's why I put together my proven 3-step process to take your home from chaos to calm in just 4 weeks. Get my notes to catch up here. All right. So phase 1 is initiate. And in this phase 1, this is all inside Tame Your Crazy Home course. So in phase 1, we're going to focus on the basics, getting those back on track. The dishes, the laundry, cleaning quickly, and decluttering. Those were all things that made major, major differences that were visible and were instant in my home. Sorry. To be able to wake up to a clean kitchen, you've got to figure out all the things that need to be done the night before. For most of us, that looks like cleaning up from supper, washing the dishes, wiping down the table and counters, sweeping the floor, and taking out the trash. It's a big list, but if it's too much, break it down into small parts. Start like I did, with just the sink, and then gradually add more until you're doing it all on autopilot and you've trained yourself in this new habit. And you trust yourself to be faithful to do it. To make dishes even easier, I always load the dish drainer or dishwasher in the same order because I would find myself staring at the sink going, I don't know where to start. I don't know which one to start with. I don't know where to start. It's just such a big mess. So finally I decided I'll always start with the same thing. There's no magic to my system. The only thing it did, and the only thing it still does, is it just took the one step of the brain work out of it for me. When I always start with the plates and then the bowls, and I always put them in the same place in my dish drainer, it's just one less thing I have to think about. My husband doesn't do that. He thinks it's silly that I have like a system. And he's like, it really doesn't have to be that way. You can wash whatever you want first. I'm like, yeah, I know. But this took away the analysis paralysis, like the decision fatigue. And so now I don't have to think about it. I just pick up a plate. Is it not the top thing? Maybe. but I still pick up a plate. That's first. Um, I save my silverware for last just because it's kind of like socks. Why go search for them? They're going to filter down through the bottom of your pile and they'll all be there at the end. Um, you don't have to do that, but that was one thing that worked for me. That was like a little hack. And then I actually did my dishes. And that's the goal, right? Whatever makes you actually do your dishes. So that meant I no longer go into a dirty kitchen and stare at my sink and wonder where to begin. I have a plan and muscle memory just takes over. If you have older kids, you're going to want to teach them to do the dishes and let them take turns on a schedule. Have them start helping. My mom had 8 kids. I'm the oldest of 8, and she always joked that she had 8 dishwashers. Let me tell you, the looks on people's faces before they realized she was talking about her 8 kids, I don't know what kind of a kitchen they were visualizing. They were just like, you have 8 dishwashers? And she's like, well, yeah. And she counts 1, 2. Oh, okay. But seriously, her other mantra was, I didn't have 8 kids, so I could insert chore. So I could do all the dishes. I didn't have 8 kids so that I could clean all the bathrooms. I didn't have 8 kids, so I would do all the cooking. Like, she really involved us. And that's actually a huge gift you can give to your kids. It takes time to train. Make it positive. Don't make it negative. Like, there's been too much work around here and I'm just done and you're going to start pitching it. No. Say, hey, we're going to learn to do the dishes together. So pull up a stool. You're going to help me do dishes. Have them dip them in a sink of water to rinse or something. Have them start small and help. It's not a consequence. It's just life. They're going to grow up and they're going to go to college, or they're going to get their own apartment, or they're going to get married, or for whatever reason, they're not going to be there with their mommy, or they're just going to be old enough and you're going to be fed up and you want someone else to do it. You don't want me doing all their dishes at 15 forever. Give them that gift of a skill that makes them self-sufficient. My sister-in-law is pregnant, and my brother lived on his own for a while, and he said that he was really enjoying having a wife to take care of him. He was doing all these things. She was really great, and of course he helped out. And then she had really bad morning sickness, and he told us, he's like, man, I feel like I went back to bachelor mode. I'm having to do it all. She's just too sick. And my mom's like, hey, that's one of the things we trained you for. Of course, we want you to be able to care for your wife. She should be able to care for you. You got to be able to pull your weight and help out when these things happen. Your wife gets sick. Your wife has a baby. Your wife's pregnant. Like, just because you got married, you're not off the hook anyway. So that was, yeah, it's a gift that you're giving them. Don't steal their chance to be productive around the house. As far as cleaning goes, if you really feel like you have no time, you have to get creative. I will often clean the bathroom sink and toilet while my kids play the bath. And then I'll do the floors when I do the rest of my house. This spring, I challenged myself to mop every week. And while I didn't get every single week done, I got a lot more than, I would have. All right. I got a lot more done than I would have gotten done. Phase 2 is streamline. After going from a dirty kitchen to a clean one with available counter space, you now have space to cook. If you get to 4 p.m. every evening and wonder what on earth is for dinner, number 1, you are not alone. I did that for a long time. And for 2, we can change that so easily. The easiest meal plan is to take 3 to 5 suppers and plan those for the week. Be sure to make enough so there's leftovers for lunch and other dinners. And breakfast can be your favorite standbys. You can rotate through cereal, yogurt, toast, eggs, whatever, have 2 or 3 breakfasts, oatmeal. That's fine. And if you truly are at a loss of what to cook, you can do reverse menu planning. This is not as amazing as it sounds, but it is as life-changing as it sounds. After my second was born, I felt like my brain had taken a long vacation and simple things became complicated to think through. So since I couldn't for the life of me come up with a menu, I realized that I was continuing to feed my family anyway. I came up with a plan. Sorry. So I came up with a plan, and I just took a piece of paper and slapped it on the fridge with a magnet. I didn't put lines. It wasn't fancy. It was just a piece of paper. Because I realized I was still cooking even though I couldn't think of things to cook. I was still feeding my family every day. So I thought, well, If I can't spend the mental energy making up a menu, I can at least take the mental energy I use coming up with a meal and put it into a list that I can look at later and it can become a menu. After 2 weeks, I had what was basically a menu. And the awesome thing was that it covered lots of easy meals. It covered days that I didn't want to cook. It had meals like chicken nuggets and frozen green beans roasted in the oven and french fries. It had meals like chicken pot pie or spaghetti. It ran the gamut. It had lots of things. And that was one of the benefits too, was I suddenly had this menu. I left it up on my fridge and it lasted for months. I referred to it for months. You can also do simple meal preps. And how can you meal prep if you have no time? Okay, I love those videos online where it's like, hey, come make 30 meals with me in 3 hours. And let me tell you, those are awesome. I wish I could do that. That is not my current season in life. I don't have, 3 hours to just kick everyone out and make something. Unless I want to do it at night, and I don't. But you can double the dinner that you make and put half away as a freezer meal. You do that 3 times a week. For 1 month, you're going to have 12 freezer meals ready for you to grab whenever you need them. Like, how awesome is that? It takes barely any extra time. I mean, does it really take longer to brown 2 pounds of ground pork instead of like one, or hamburger? Not really. And you're already measuring out that teaspoon of salt. Just go 1 teaspoon here, 1 teaspoon there, or just do 2. Like, it really isn't all that much extra, especially because you're already in the process. Your brain's already there. It's kind of like, when you go to the store and you're like, I'm already out, we're going to do something else. Why? Because you've already done the hardest part. You got the shoes on the kids, you got the diaper bag, you got them changed, you got them all in the car, and you drove. Like, you left the house. You might as well do all the errands while you're out, because if you go home and you guys have to do something else, you still have to do that whole leaving the house again. You know what I'm talking about. So it's kind of like that with meal prep. You're already cooking the meal. You already have the kitchen a mess. You've already got everything out. Just give yourself a little bit more work, like this much more work for like that much more return. Okay? And phase 3 is sustain. So starting new habits is honestly really pointless if you're not able to maintain them. That was just an exercise in futility to say, hey, new habit, I worked so hard on this, and then forget it. So they'll soon be like all the other methods and systems that you've tried that you just didn't stick with for whatever reason. And some are because they're not efficient. Others just don't support your unique home and life needs. So others are way too ambitious and have you doing a deep cleaning that you didn't want to do every week or month. But you're not here for a new trick or a new gimmick or yet another empty promise that's going to change your life. You do not have time or energy to waste on nonsense. And quite frankly, neither do I. So this is why my 3-step process would be 100% pointless if I didn't also teach you how to make new routines that would enable you to keep your new habits and make them easier to do each and every passing day. As moms, we're often quite busy with the same things each day. We have to get everyone up, dressed, fed, cleaned, off to their daily activities, sports, school. We have our own work, errands, and appointments to attend to. And at the end of the day, we feed, clean, change, and put everyone to bed. And we repeat this every single day. Because moms are superheroes. So when I want to change something or add a new routine, I just start really small with little steps. I pair it with something I'm already doing. It's called habit stacking. It is nothing new that I came up with. It's quite an old system. I'm going to say the writer of Atomic Habits talks about it. Habit stacking. How do you start a new habit? You take something you already do all the time and you add something else to it to make it into all its own new habit. For instance, with those dishes that I talked about, I paired that with my evening routine, my bedtime routine. I would do the dishes and then go to bed. After shutting down my devices, I'd head to the kitchen and start washing. And then I just go onto the bedroom and go to bed. Now, my kids are a little bit older. I talked to my husband and I said, look, I'm going crazy. I can't do it all. If there's a way that one of us could do the dishes in the evening before the kids go to bed and the other one entertain the kids, like once they go to bed, I really have other things I need to do. Team the crazy, this course, this business. I can't do it all the time. And it can't all wait until the kids are in bed. I think that was the bigger issue. I can't cram everything into those 3 hours. And he said, okay, that's fine. He often prefers to be the one to do the dishes, but plenty of times I'll do the dishes and he'll be with the kids. They're a little bit older. It's not such so imperative that someone be with them nonstop. As you know, when they're like 2 or 3 unsupervised in the living room. Um, but that made a big difference too, was just communicating with him. He didn't know all that I was trying to cram into this 3 hours. He didn't realize how overwhelming it was for me. So I just had to be honest with him and reach out for the help that I needed. But I did start small. Uh yeah, we used cloth diapers and there was always a big load of those. And see, they're all over my couch. My kid didn't have space to play on the couch. So for laundry, I decided to try the method of one load a day. And I'll tell you why I decided to try it. Because there was this mom that I saw talking about one load of laundry a day online, and she said that she will wash, dry, fold, and put away the same load of laundry in one day. And she said she did it. And after doing it for about 4 or 5 days, I want to say that fifth day, she went to do her one load of laundry and she didn't have enough to do a load of laundry. And I just remember sitting there being like, you got to be kidding me. I don't believe this. I don't know. I don't understand. That's probably not possible. So I thought, well, I'm going to try it myself because I'm never going to go on and comment, but I am going to prove her wrong or I'm going to prove her right and I'm going to have an amazing new hack. I don't know which. So I started doing that. I paired it with meal times. Again, that habit stacking. So when I made breakfast, I would put in a load of laundry. When I made lunch, I would swap the laundry. When the kids went down for a nap, I would pull it out. And then I'd either fold it then before dinner or after dinner. And I learned to do it at my dining room table. That made a much calmer environment than me off in my bedroom or something folding laundry. And then the kids could be involved. Here's your shirt, go put it away. And much to my shock and surprise, on day 5 of doing this and whittling down my mountain, I did not have enough laundry to do. No one was more surprised than me. So I ended up washing my sheets, which didn't happen very often because I was always so behind on laundry. The biggest, most powerful heart thing that changed for me during this season of growing and learning to care for my home was an attitude adjustment or mentality shift, whatever you want, a new mentality, an attitude adjustment. I personally think attitude comes from your heart and mentality comes in your thoughts, but the two are so connected and linked up. So here's what made an impact for me. It's a bit of tough love, heads up, but I decided that instead of feeling like cooking and cleaning and caring for my home was a drudgery, like dishes again, I just did those yesterday, to look at it as my job. Oh, of course I'm doing the dishes. It's my job. Of course I'm going to do the laundry. It's my job. Yeah, I'm taking care of my home because that's my job. As a mom, this is my job in this season of motherhood. And it's my ministry to my family and to my kids to do this job. And of course, when my kids grow up and they're able to do chores, I'm going to expect them to have a cheerful attitude, not be like, dishes again, mom. Oh my word, I did them yesterday. Would I accept that answer? No. So I needed to model a cheerful attitude doing the dishes. And when I stopped looking at caring for my home as an imposition on my time, like I had something else I wanted to do, I wanted a break, but rather as a way to joyfully serve my family, the work stopped being so hard. A simple mindset shift just made all the difference in my attitude. And how many times do our kids struggle with homework and it's only because of their attitude? Maybe you've even said, if you try it with a good attitude, it would only take you 5 minutes, but instead we've been here for half an hour. Well, yeah, it's a big kid heart issue. And you need to deal with that. But guess what? Us adults, we have the same heart issue sometimes. And if we just did it with a good attitude, it wouldn't take so long either. So pick a time, put on some music or a podcast or a video and just knock it out. Get those kids to work. Say something like, hey, for the next 10 minutes, let's clean up everything you see. And we're setting a timer. And as soon as the timer rings, we are done. We're not doing one extra thing. Keep your word. And then, have a reward. maybe the reward is, yay, we all beat the timer. Maybe it's new and you need to kind of build some momentum with this new habit. Maybe say, hey, we're all gonna have some ice cream afterwards. Or after this, I'm gonna set the timer for 30 minutes and I will play with you guys instead of you doing what I was gonna do. Or hey, we'll all go to the park after this, or we'll all have a pillow fight. It doesn't have to cost anything. It can still be fun and you can encourage your kids. Sorry, I have this cold. It's bugging me. All right, so that brings us to the obvious question, which is how can I implement this process in my own life quickly and easily? Well, you can keep doing what you're doing and what I did, trying to figure it all out, scrolling Pinterest, searching on the blogs, desperately looking for some answers. Um, you can keep struggling and feeling overwhelmed and keep feeling like you don't have a clear plan for success. And you may get there eventually. You may not. Something just changed in the lighting. I don't know what. I think it's just a light bulb. All right. But it's probably going to be painful. It was very painful for me. I did finally get there. It was very time consuming and very painful. Or, you can simply follow the process we talked about today. Starting small, choose an area, work carefully. And I'd far rather you do that. And if you want guidance, if that seems overwhelming and you want guidance to do it along with somebody who gets it, who's been there, who's learned, I would absolutely love to invite you to join Tame Your Crazy Home. See here. Tame Your Crazy Home is the course designed to help you streamline your home and bring peace and calm to the chaos in just 4 weeks. And yes, there are 9 units, but I say 4 weeks because in the spring we pre-recorded 4 units, and now we're doing our final live round where we'll do another 5 units, and then and then we're going to have it all as a 9-unit course. But it's pre-recorded. It's only an hour each. You can watch as quickly as you desire. So it starts with phase 1, initiate. We cover why we need a clean and organized home. Then we move on to knocking out our dishes and laundry and making cleaning quick and easy. We'll also talk about decluttering and what to do with the kid stuff and the kid toys. Next, we're going to have phase 2. We're going to streamline it, where we simplify menu planning and cooking. We'll talk about how to maximize your appliances and make your time and effort go even further. The Busy Mom's Guide to Easy Meal Preps is a fantastic practical guide to pair with this phase. And finally, in phase 3, sustain, we cover how to take your newly formed methods and systems and make them permanent by building routines that fit your life and your home. This round will be adding a lesson devoted to how to create routines, as well as one on how to train our children to help with chores. As an added bonus, we have a resource library with lots of planning sheets, weekly menu sheets, even a categorized shopping list. Things to make it quick and easy to implement and hopefully save you some time and brain power. And with Tame Your Crazy Home, you'll get a 9-module course. It has the lessons. Just so you know, this is the final live round. I don't plan to do another live round. It'll just all be pre-recorded after this. There's also a Facebook group with mamas and encouragement who are all going through the same thing, who have great ideas, because we all have different strengths. If dishes are your downfall, but menu planning's easy for you. There's going to be some other mama who struggles with menu planning and needs your expertise, or might have a great idea of dishes and help you out. So what's the cost? Of course, at this point, you're probably wondering, with everything that's included in this incredible program, what is it costing me? Because if you shopped around, similar products sell for hundreds of dollars. But you guys, the reason for these higher prices is actually a pretty good one. It automatically weeds out anyone who's not serious about getting results. But I also know this is something that so many of us need right now, which is why for now I've decided to keep it super affordable for anyone who needs it right away. So I'm currently selling all of this at the gold tier with these 3 bonuses at the left side for $119. But today I'm willing to sell it to you for $99 if you're here on the call. We're doing for $99, which is the price of just the course. It would have the bonus of the Busy Mom's Easy Guide to Meal Preps, which is a $35 bonus all on its own, $35 value. It covers practical things for the kitchen, how to use your appliances, your crock pot, your Instant Pot, your oven, It'll teach you how to work smarter and not harder, and even making cleanup easier. There's also, sorry, also the 50 screen-free independent play ideas for toddlers and preschoolers. I picked indoor activities because those are tried and true, and you don't always want them outside. Plus, you want them to be independent play, as well as 30 quick and easy lunches for stay-at-home moms. So the total value of everything that's included, Tame Your Crazy Home, worksheets to help you quickly and easily put these methods into place, the Busy Mom's Guide, the 50 activities for kids, the quick and easy lunches, is about $257, which is pretty incredible when you consider just how much you're getting. And also, you gotta think about what's gonna happen if we don't implement. Yes, you can take all this stuff and you can, the thoughts that are shared here, you can go implement in your own home. And I really hope you do. I really hope you do. Even if you never buy the course, I really hope you still take the tips and thoughts and start making changes and make your home more calm, more enjoyable to be in, more organized, more simplified. But if you really need the help, hey, don't miss out on this chance. Jump in and get Tame Your Crazy Home. I want this for you. I want you to be able to have that home that you enjoy being in and not be overwhelmed and cleaning all the time. And I know that the home systems and mindset shift we cover in this course will have an amazing impact on your own life. Mostly because I live it. I watch other people live it on a daily basis. I know how much of a blessing this course will be for you and how different your life will be at the end. So I'm willing to offer a 100% money back guarantee for 14 days after the date of your purchase. So you can try it out. See if you like how I teach. See if you are ready to jump all in. All right. If you're ready to take the leap, here's what you're going to do. Go to tamethecrazy.lpages.co/TYCH course sales main page. I'm going to definitely be putting that into the chat. Let me, yeah. So go to the sales page. If you've been getting all the sales emails, the link is all over those emails. Click on any of the big blue buttons that say call my chaos or I'm ready to call my chaos and jump down to the section that has the big enroll button. Let's see here. Choose the gold tier because that's where I'm giving the $99, even though it says $120. Choose the gold tier. From there, you just need to put in, when you go to purchase it, be sure to add the promo code CALM, CALM. Apply the code and it will drop your price down to $99. And it will be for the gold tier. That is the best way to get all of that. So let me see here. I don't know how to make it start my timer. Can I make it play? All right. All right. So we have a timer ticking down. And after 15 minutes, I am going to be closing down the session, closing down the, oh, it finally loaded. Great. Let me adjust because we started a little bit late. I need to adjust my coupon code to make sure it stays that price for you. I had it cutting off right now. And of course, that's not going to work, is it? All right, let's bump it a little bit more time here. To 9:15. There we go. Whoops. Okay. Whoops, that did not change. Why not? It's supposed to say 9:15. Perfect. Okay, great. So the coupon code is now live again. If you tried it a second ago, it wasn't. So I just want to encourage you, as far as keeping promises to yourself. Honestly, if I had been offered this opportunity, I'm going to grab a link really fast for you. If I had been offered this opportunity, I don't know if I would have taken it because I would have sat there and thought, I don't know if I would actually do it. I really don't. And I don't want to waste my money. Obviously, it's hard-earned money. I don't want to waste my money. I do want it to be, let me just grab that link really fast before okay, let's get back to that. Oh, you'd be kidding me. Great. Gotta zip through all these again. Okay, get our timer there. Okay. Anyway, at 9:15, that's when it'll be done. So I am going to close this down because that is getting confusing. Where is that? Listen to the chat here. Okay, there's a purchasing link. I just want to encourage you. Like, if this had been my option, I would have sat there and like read the sales page over and over, thinking this is too good to be true. I really want this to work for me. I wish it could work for me. And honestly, I would have felt like I don't know. I don't have enough trust in myself. I'm not sure if it would really work. So I want you to know, I have accounted for that because that is my personality. When we have our lesson times for an hour, I'll only teach for about 45 minutes, 50 minutes. And then we take some time and we actually do the worksheet together. We actually make the plan. We actually implement. So I probably would have watched the type we read out. I would have decided this isn't for me. I just can't do it because I'm not the kind of person that sticks to these things. But I want to share what happened to one of the moms in our spring round. We were talking about menu planning and needing to have a menu plan and make that happen. And she was really challenged. And she said, I would love to make menus. I think about it, but then I never actually make them, or I sit down to make them. I never have any ideas. And I said, yeah, I get it. Or you hear someone be like, yeah, we had spaghetti this week. You're like, oh, my kid likes spaghetti. We haven't had that in months. I wonder why. And you're not thinking about that. So what we did was right there on the call, after we talked all about menu planning and how to do it great, we made a menu plan for the week together. I made mine, she made hers. We were able to talk to each other as we did it. And I was like, yeah, I think I'm going to do spaghetti with shredded chicken because I don't have ground pork. And she's like, what? I never thought to use different kinds of meats for my stuff. And sorry. And she had some good ideas that she hadn't been thinking about. She got some old favorites she was reminded of, like the spaghetti. And she actually made a menu. She was so excited. She's like, I haven't made a menu in forever. And I have 3 meals that I'm going to cook this week that are cheap and easy. We're going to do this. So that was a big breakthrough for her. But it came because we implement during the lesson time. If you implement as we go, it's really hard. I get it. You're a mom. You're sitting down watching this and you think, okay, I'm giving my hour to this. But then once you get up and leave, it's hard to find another time to get back in the mindset and do the homework. And honestly, it's not homework I'm grading. I don't care. I don't need to see your plan. But you need to make a plan because it's your home you want to change. If you do the homework, it'll bless your home. If you don't, it won't. And you'll just have wasted your money and time on this course. So I'm going to encourage you, don't waste your time. Don't waste your money. Just a second. Let me have this cool. I am so sorry about that. Anyway, so if you're wondering, will I actually use this? Will I actually do it? Hey, we'll do it together because that's the whole point, right? We're not doing it alone. And motherhood is not meant to be on an island. It's not meant to be lonely. It's not meant to be by yourself. It's not how it's meant to be done. You're meant to have a community and encouragement. So I also wanted to share another story about cooking and one of the reasons why I really pushed to get cooking solved for myself. And that was one day I decided to make pizza. And I was pregnant and my little toddler was probably, I don't know, maybe 10 months. He was old enough to crawl around and pull himself up on stuff and grab stuff. That's how old he was. And I had baked pizza crust. And the last time I'd made pizza, I doubled it and I spread it out in the pan and baked it for like 3 or 4 minutes to hold its shape. And then I froze it. It's called par baked. It's the same way you buy it in the store, like kind of half baked pizza crust. So I had that. I pulled it out, thawed it, and I had jarred sauce, pre-grated cheese, and pre-sliced pepperoni. Like it should have taken 5 minutes to throw together. It took me almost 2 hours because I kept getting distracted with things. My kid needed me, then he needed to nurse, and then there was this and that and the other. And at one point, I started really making some progress because you're always having to stop and wash your hands and deal with the kid, and then come back and wash your hands and start over. And like everything takes time. So I ended up at one point I was like really making some progress. And I thought, man, this is amazing. That dawned on me, my kid's been really quiet. And I looked down and he had crawled up and we had this wire shelf in our kitchen and he grabbed the coffee filters, which I don't know why they were stored so low. It was poor organization. But anyway, he had spread them all over the kitchen floor. It was like this white carpet. And he sat there and it had obviously entertained him for quite a while. And he sat there and I looked down and he noticed me at the same time. He just grinned like, do you like it? And I so desperately wanted to take a picture. But he also knew that like we took pictures of things we liked and I did not want to reinforce that I liked what he had done. So of course then I had to stop and have him help me. We picked up all the coffee filters and I finally got the pizza made. And I realized I'd forgotten to preheat my oven. So it took even longer. And by the time we finally got it done, of course we had dinner and I was glad I'd started making it at 3 p.m. instead of, other times. But let me tell you, it is not an easy feat to keep your home with children, especially when they're all young. And when I was scoring the internet with ideas and looking for ways to help my home, a lot of them said, have your kids help with chores. My kid was 9 months old, or 18 months old, or 2 years old. I'm not going to have him go clean the bathroom or wash the dishes or even set the table. He can like help with his little kitty plates, but that's it. And I get that. So in this course, I'm not telling you things that are like, you have to, I don't know, you have to enlist your children. I think it's great. I am enlisting them now. As kids, we were all enlisted in chores, but I'm not going to sit here and tell you that's the only solution because you need help long before your kids are able to do chores. And you can have help. You can have sanity. It's okay. You can be sane. You can do this. So there's a few minutes left. If you have questions, drop them in the chat. If you are not live, you can still take advantage of this code. I'll leave it up for a few days. If you watch the webinar, you get the advantage of the discount. So try it out. Go check it out. We have about 5 more minutes, and then I'm going to be closing it down. So if you have any questions, pop them in. I'm going to extend this coupon code until midnight at Friday night, midnight. So let me think what that would be for Eastern time. So the time zones trip me up sometimes. So that'd be Saturday at 1 a.m. I'll figure it out later. Confusing myself. Okay, what is? All right. Well, if there's no more questions, and let's see, is there anything else you want to hear? Anything else you want me to share about my journey? I have a few other tips I like to share that just have made things easier overall. They're nothing magical, but they have simplified me in my decision making. If you can do anything to help simplify your decision making fatigue or the amount of physical energy it takes to do something, do it. So for me, like for when I mop the bathroom or when I mop the house, I keep the mopping solution in the bathroom because that's where I fill the mop bucket. It's where I need to reach for it. I never use it anywhere else in the house except filling the mop bucket. So we have a little shelf in our shower that's kind of up high. And so I set it up there. And I don't know what people think. I don't really care what they think because it's amazing. I come in there, I bring in the bucket and the mop, which I keep somewhere else. And I start to fill it up, and then I just grab the solution, pour it in, put it away. That's simple. I don't have to walk to where I keep my other cleaning supplies. I also try to keep bathroom cleaning supplies in the bathrooms. The tub cleaner, I just keep it in the same place as the mopping solution. That way it's right there. A scrub brush, I keep that there too. And when my first was born, I had read a great tip of having cleaning wipes available in the bathroom. And I never used cleaning wipes before in my own home, just because I figured, I don't want to spend the money. I can, rinse out a rag, throw it in the wash, reuse it. But the cleaning wipes idea made sense. And so I bought some, and they lasted so long that I ended up paying about $10 for a whole year of cleaning wipes because I didn't use them that often. But when I did, they were a lifesaver. So after he was born, I'd be in the bathroom brushing my teeth. And so I would just quickly wipe off the sink. And then if I had time, I would wipe down the toilet and throw it away. And right there, I had pushed myself forward towards having a clean house. It only took 2 minutes. I didn't have to go get the rag, go get the solution, and then take the rag to the laundry afterwards because when you have a newborn, you don't know how much time you have. You might have 5 minutes, you might have 30, you might have like, um, you know, 30 seconds. You never know before they start crying again or need you or you wanted to do something else. And I didn't have the energy to clean the whole bathroom. So that really worked for me. It was a tip that has paid off. I still keep cleaning wipes around. They, again, take forever to use, but forever to use up. I mean, like they still last a very long time. They make it easy. I can quickly clean up messes. Now that my kids are potty trained and I have 2 boys, we use them a lot on the floor in the boys' bathroom. All right, well, we are almost to the end. I am so grateful that you came on and joined me today. This has been a lot of fun. If you're still on the fence about Tame the Crazy, why wait? Write me. Ask me your question. It's just me. I don't have a team. I'm just another mom like you who has found amazing solutions, and I want to share them and help you find solutions in your home too. Send me a question. Write me your question. Talk to me about it. There will be deals. There will be sales. I understand that everyone can afford the $99. It's a lot. It's a lot of money right now. It's probably less than a grocery trip. And the payoff is pretty incredible in your home to have someone there to support you and bring you along. If you do not end up buying it today or at all, I really hope that you still take the principles that we talked about, starting small, breaking down a big insurmountable chore into small bite-sized chunks and slowly building. That is the key to changing your home. And we just go into a lot of detail and a lot of examples in the course. That's highly simplifying it. But that is the key. Start small, break it down, slowly build new habits. So I really hope that you take advantage of the information and that you do change your home. I'd love to hear how you change your home, how you use those habit changers, habit stacking, how you break down things. I'd love to hear about that. So send me an email or tag me on Instagram, write me on Facebook, share how this has changed things in your house or given you some new ideas. We have reached the end of our time, so I'm going to sign off. Thanks for joining me.